A lot of people getting into IT seem to have this one big question looming over their heads. What are my chances of actually passing a CompTIA exam? These tests feel like huge gatekeepers, and everyone wants to know how hard they really are.
That's the million-dollar question. And what's funny is CompTIA doesn't actually publish official failure rates. But, based on what we hear from students and trainers, the picture is pretty clear. For the CompTIA A+, which is where most people start, about 70 to 80% pass on their first try.
So that means a solid 20 to 30% of people are having to retake it. That's not a tiny number. Is it the same for the other big ones, like Network Plus and Security Plus?
The numbers are pretty similar, yeah. You're looking at around 75% for Network Plus and maybe a little lower, 70 to 75% for Security Plus. But what's really interesting isn't just the number, it's the times perception, times of difficulty. Everyone agrees Security Plus just feels tougher, and that's because it's not about memorizing facts. It's about applying them in messy, real-world situations.
I see. So even if the pass rates are close, the experience of taking the tests is different. This brings us to the critical question then. Why do those 20 to 30% of people actually fail in the first place?
Well, it almost always comes down to one thing: not studying enough. Or, more specifically, not studying the times right, times way. A lot of people think they can just cram for a few days, but it's not that kind of test. The other huge mistake is skipping practice exams.
Right, because you need to get used to the question style. I've heard the way they word things can be really tricky.
It's more than tricky. There's a common saying that these exams are 50% technical knowledge and 50% English comprehension. It's not just about knowing the tech, it's about being able to dissect a complicated, situation-based question and figure out what their really time's asking, especially when they ask for the best answer, and 3 of the options look pretty good.
That sounds designed to make you second guess yourself. So understanding these failure points is key. Let's dive a bit deeper into the specifics of the A+ exam, which is often the first step for many.
For sure, the A+ has 2 separate exams, and you have to pass both. Most people find they need about 3 months of solid studying to feel ready. Then you have Network Plus, which is a step up, focusing on how networks run and how to fix them.
And then there's the big one, Security Plus, which you said is seen as the hardest. It's also super popular right now.
Exactly. Security Plus has that 75% pass rate, but it demands a really deep knowledge of security tools and, more importantly, how to think on your feet in different security scenarios. It's interesting to look at the estimated study hours. People usually budget 60 to 80 hours for A+, but only 40 to 60 for Network Plus, and then back up to 60 to 70 for Security Plus.
That's a bit strange. Why would Network Plus, which is a step up from A+, require less study time?
It's likely because it's more focused. A plus is very broad. It covers hardware, software, mobile devices, a bit of everything. Network Plus dives deep into one specific, albeit complex, domain. Security Plus then broadens out again, covering a vast landscape of threats and tools. The hours really just reflect the scope you have to cover.
That makes sense. Those study hours really underscore the commitment needed. But what happens when, despite all the effort, someone doesn't pass? Let's talk about what to do after failing.
First, don't panic. It's incredibly common. Many successful IT pros have a failed cert exam in their past. The most important thing is to look at the score report CompTIA gives you. It literally tells you which areas you were weak in.
Oh, so they give you a roadmap for what to study next. That's actually really helpful.
It's gold. It transforms a failure from a dead end into a targeted learning opportunity. You're no longer just restudying everything. You're fixing specific knowledge gaps. This is why so many people pass on their second attempt. They know what to expect and exactly what they need to work on.
Absolutely. It's all about resilience and smart revision. This covers a lot. So, Olivia, if our listeners are to take away just a few key points from our chat today, what should they be? And that's, I think,
I'd say 4 things. First, the pass rates are roughly 70–80%, so failure is not uncommon. Second, the The main reason people fail is simply not putting in enough study time or not using practice tests. Third, remember these exams test your comprehension and judgment just as much as your tech knowledge, so learn how to dissect the questions. And finally, if you do fail, use that score report. It's your best tool for making sure the second time's the charm.